We have a special guest who hasn't been on the Angle for 7 years. Your goddaughter, my daughter, Maria, who's going off to Texas A&M in just a few weeks. She said, I'm not saying anything. She's just sitting there looking pretty.
Laura Ingraham, a conservative powerhouse known for her sharp political commentary and role as the host of the Ingraham Angle, has always kept her personal life somewhat private. But her decision to adopt 3 children while remaining unmarried has been the subject of public curiosity. Today we're taking a closer look at her life as a single mother, her decision to adopt, and how she's managed to raise her children while maintaining a high-profile career. Laura Ingraham's personal life and romantic relationships. Laura Ingraham's personal life has often piqued the interest of both her critics and supporters. While she's had a number of notable romantic relationships, none have led to marriage. In the early 2000s, she was romantically linked to political commentator Dinesh D'Souza and later businessman James V. Reyes. Her engagement to Reyes was highly publicized in 2005, but the two parted ways shortly after, reportedly due to Ingraham's battle with breast cancer, which she openly discussed. Despite the serious nature of some of these relationships, Ingraham chose not to pursue marriage, instead focusing on her career and eventually her role as a mother. She has spoken candidly about her approach to marriage, noting in interviews that while she values traditional family structures, she found fulfillment outside the confines of a typical marriage. Quote, I've always believed in the importance of family, but family can come in many different forms, she once said in an interview. Her public persona, often rooted in strong conservative values, does not always align with societal expectations of marriage. Yet Ingraham's independence and commitment to motherhood have shaped her narrative, one in which marriage has taken a backseat to other priorities. Throughout her romantic relationships, she's remained clear on her personal priorities. The decision to adopt children speaks to her belief that motherhood can exist outside traditional structures. The decision to adopt. Laura Ingraham's journey to motherhood began with a deep desire to become a parent, a role she knew she was meant to embrace despite not being married. In 2008, she adopted her first child, Maria, from Guatemala. The process, which Ingraham has described as both challenging and rewarding, marked the beginning of a transformative chapter in her life. Quote, becoming a mother is the most rewarding thing I've ever done, she shared in an interview, highlighting the profound impact of motherhood on her life. After the adoption of Maria, Laura expanded her family by adopting 2 sons, both from Russia. Michael, her second child, was adopted in 2009, and Nikolai, the youngest, joined the family in 2011. Each adoption brought its own set of challenges, particularly the complexities of international adoption, which Laura has openly acknowledged. She has expressed frustration over the bureaucratic hurdles in the process. Quote, adoption first and foremost needs to be about the children, Ingraham said. What's best for them? Children should never be used as bargaining chips by one nation against another. They're not commodities. This should never be about politics. Preventing the adoption of a child of any age into a loving, safe home is selfish and cruel. With streamlining background checks, home visits mean cutting corners that would put them in jeopardy. No one wants to see that happen. One horror story of adoptive parents abusing kids is all it takes for a country to shut down all their international adoptions, leaving tens, even hundreds of thousands of kids without a forever home. Her advocacy for apolitical adoption underscores her deep commitment to giving children loving homes, regardless of the red tape involved. She's made it clear her children have been the focal point of her life since becoming a mother, often balancing her demanding career with the responsibilities of raising them. She has credited her faith and values for guiding her through the adoption process, stating that motherhood is a calling, one that she felt strongly even without the presence of a husband. Laura Ingraham's approach to parenting. Laura's approach to parenting reflects her conservative values, with a strong focus on discipline, responsibility, and fostering independence. As a single mother, she's always been vocal about the importance of raising her children with a sense of structure and traditional morals. Quote, I want my kids to understand the value of hard work, faith, and integrity, she once stated. Her parenting style is centered around ensuring her children grow up with a clear sense of right and wrong, and she often speaks about the importance of instilling strong values from an early age. She's been open about the challenges of balancing her high-profile career with the demands of motherhood. As host of the Ingraham Angle on Fox News, her days are often filled with long hours and intense public scrutiny. Yet she makes it clear her children are her top priority. Quote, "I may be tough on TV, but at home I'm just mom," she once remarked. Her commitment to being present in her children's lives, despite her busy schedule, is a recurring theme in her interviews. Faith plays a crucial role in Ingram's approach to raising her children. A devout Catholic, she often speaks about how her religious beliefs guide her decisions as a parent. She ensures that her children are exposed to the same faith and values that shaped her upbringing. Ingraham has also spoken about her desire to raise her children to be independent thinkers, stating, quote, "I want them to grow up questioning the world around them, but always with a moral compass." Ingram's views on the adoption process.
Okay, I was a little weepy all day today, and this is a personal note. Lots of cake and celebration at the Ingraham household tonight as my daughter Maria celebrated her 18th birthday. She's not 18 there. All right, I remember her first birthday in the United States, which was her third. She came when she was about 3. It was also my first Mother's Day. It was special.
Laura has long been an advocate for adoption, particularly international adoption, and she's used her platform to highlight the challenges and complexities involved in the process. Throughout her experience adopting 3 children, she became outspoken about her belief that adoption should remain a compassionate, apolitical act. Quote, "Adoption is about giving children a home, not about politics," she said on many occasions, voicing her frustration with the bureaucratic obstacles that often complicate the process. She has repeatedly called for reforms to streamline the process, ensuring that children can find loving families without unnecessary delays. One of the key points she's emphasized is the need to view children as individuals in need of care and love, not as commodities in a transactional system. Her personal experiences with the adoption process, particularly from Russia, have further shaped her public stance. Following Russia's ban on American adoptions in 2013, she was vocal in her criticism of the decision, pointing out the children who were caught in the middle of a geopolitical conflict. Quote, "These are kids who just want to be loved," she said at the time, expressing frustration and deep sadness over the situation. Her life and career. Laura's career has spanned several decades, with her becoming one of the most influential voices in conservative media. Her path began in the legal field, working as a speechwriter for the Reagan administration, and later clerking for Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. But it was her transition to media that cemented her role as a leading conservative commentator. Ingraham gained national attention with her radio show, The Laura Ingraham Show, where her sharp wit and unapologetically conservative views resonated with a large audience. She then transitioned to television, becoming the host of the Ingraham Angle on Fox News, a position that only solidified her status as a media powerhouse. Her career has often been defined by her fearless approach to discussing polarizing topics. Whether tackling immigration, national security, or cultural issues, she's never shied away from controversy. Quote, "I say what I believe and I won't apologize for it," she once said in an interview, a mantra that has driven much of her public commentary. Her ability to provoke strong reactions from both supporters and critics alike has made her a fixture in conservative media. She has also invited controversy in many forms over the years.
Taunting a survivor of Marjory Stoneman Douglas school shooting under pressure from a mounting boycott by advertisers. Uproar arose when Ingraham mocked 17-year-old student activist David Hogg's recent college rejection and his 4.1 GPA on Twitter Wednesday.
Despite her demanding career, she's made it clear her children are always her top priority. Quote, "Being a mother gives you a different lens through which to see the world," she remarked. This dual role of media personality and devoted mother has allowed Laura to connect with her audience on a deeper, more personal level. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you know anyone who's adopted a child from another country? Let us know in the comments section below.